We'll look forward to hearing from you a little bit later. Jenna? Go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Jenna Garcia. I do communications and marketing here at the Authority.
Anthony Archon, Director of Community Engagement and Government Affairs here at the Authority.
Hi, everyone. Steve Valley, Chief Real Estate Officer at the Authority. Brad Buchanan with the Authority.
Eduardo Gonzalez, the Community Engagement Outreach Coordinator for CSU Spur.
Mike Bouchard with the Mayor's Office at the National Western Center. Sweating from the tamales. They're really good. It's the green voice.
And Marcy Lauer, also with the Mayor's Office at the National Western Center.
Great. Welcome, everybody, again. So to start out the meeting, I'd like to just remind you all that so we're gonna pull up a slide, is that we do have some values that we, for those who haven't been here before, we do operate with a sense of trust and respect and open and transparency. We really do encourage others to speak and to be to voice their concerns or issues, but we also want to be able to listen, be good listeners, and be open to new ideas. So we understand that we're a community that faces many realities each day, and we're striving through partnership, through collaboration and cooperation. To that end, to say that we operate on a basis of consensus. We can go to the next slide, Jenna. And just, I'm not going to read it to you, but we do operate on the basis of consensus. That is, that we're not looking for the perfect solution, but we're trying to reach a place where everybody feels okay with the decision. So I won't go through that, but just to let those of you who haven't been with us before, I think most of you have been, to remind you that that when we have decisions to make, that we use consensus as our guide. Our agenda for tonight is fairly simple. We have community updates that we do every month, but we also have some new updates on the feedback from our community discussions, and also the district, an update on the district sign plan. An update, Mike's gonna give us an update on Nwca, and obviously as always, we will have a public comment session. So we'll start out with community updates, and I'm wondering if there's anybody in the group who from the community who would like to share some updates with all the rest of us. Raise your hand if you do on the Zoom or in the room. Yes, Jerica.
Oh, that's my hand.
Oh, that's your.
Sorry, Jerica.
Okay.
I do have one. I will be sending an email to the CAC later this week from Councilman Watson and the mayor's office. They're going to be hosting an affordable, it's called an Affordable Denver Community Conversation, and it's going to be hosted by the Denver Mayor's Office in partnership with Councilman Darrell Watson on Thursday, September the 12th. And that will be held at the Johnson Rec Center from 5 to 6:30 p.m. So I will forward that to everyone later this week.
Thank you, Anthony. Kyle, I see your hand is raised.
Hi, everyone. So we experience something every summer that we call the summertime blues. And we have a lot of people traveling who are regular volunteers. So if anyone would be interested in helping us out, deliver meals on a Friday between 11 and 1 or a Saturday between 1 and 3, we would be forever grateful. You can visit our website and sign up to participate through the volunteer tab.
Thanks, Kyle. Other announcements? Community? I'm not seeing any hands raised, so Steve, I think it's up to you to update us on the community meetings and also on the slide.
Sandra put one in.
Oh, there. Oh, Sandra put something in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Tianguis Open Air Market is August 18th, and Sabor Comunitario will be cooking every Sunday.
And that'll be held at the Stockyards Event Center.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay. Steve, turning it over to you.
Great. Hi, everyone. I'm gonna provide an update on the Equestrian Center Hotel and Parking Garage project, in addition to the district side plan, two separate projects. I'll start with the Equestrian Center. This is a graphic that highlights two community location options, community option A and community option B. This was a kind of the main topic of our previous meetings that we've worked through. We met last week as a task force on this project to discuss these two options. We went out onto the site and walked around and marked the corners of these buildings. They're 4,000 square feet, represent the pink on here represents 4,000 square feet, one-story building. So we marked the four corners of those out on the site and we walked out to them, went to the 51st Avenue Bridge, looked at the site, at each site from the bridge, walked to those sites, looked at the view from the sites. Had really good discussion around those sites last week. We've also met with several other folks, had several other meetings. This has been our topic at our monthly task force meeting to try to decide between which option is best. And we had overwhelming support for community option A. And the reason for that was its proximity both to the Betty Cram Future Bridge, down to the bottom of the map, the existing 51st Avenue Bridge, the proximity to the riverfront open space directly across the street, and the proximity to the Rising Together public art project, which is in the riverfront open space. The view from this location is really pretty, because you're looking right across at that open space. And just generally felt like a better location for all types of different community uses, which we'll discuss next. So I just wanted to highlight that that decision has been made, that direction has been given to the design team. And so future drawings that we present will show that, will no longer show options, it will show that location as the community space. Our next topic, as part of the Equestrian Center Hotel Parking Garage Task Force, which meets every third Wednesday of the month, it is shifting into jobs, construction jobs and small business opportunity and support. So our contractor for the project is leading that effort, working through the work, utilizing the Work Now program, which I understand was originated on this project. And also working with potential students in the schools, working with the small businesses to try to get them certified as through the city's process as a minority or women business, so that they can qualify to meet the goals set for those projects. The goals, when I say goals set, there's a percentage of the dollars spent on design and during construction to small businesses that are qualified as minority or women owned. I believe that the goal set for the livestock center was, I believe it was 19% for construction. So gives you a sense of kind of what that percentage looks like. And so that's what I mean by setting goals. So that's the focus of the discussion as we move forward on this project, and that will be our focus over the next several months. As a reminder, this project, ultimately the project funding will need to be approved by City Council. We are anticipating going to City Council in probably Q2 of 2025. So still a lot more to discuss, but and just a reminder that, in Hensel Phelps, the contractor was hesitant to go out and say, we have all of these jobs, when the project is still subject to a City Council approval. So there's a sensitivity there. We have to get through City Council first before those jobs actually become available. So any questions on the progress we're making, the Equestrian Center Hotel Parking Garage?
Do you see any hands up, Jenna?
I do not. Nope, no hands.
Any in the room?
Okay. I will shift to the next topic now, the district sign plan. We've talked about this at the previous meetings. This is a document that we are creating that sets the rules for signage on the campus. We now have a draft of the document. And we will make that draft available for public review. For those interested in reviewing this and commenting. Anthony will be sending out an email with a link to the document and a deadline for those comments. For those interested, and then my contact information if folks have questions and want to discuss it further. As part of planning board's approval, which is we intend to go to planning board sometime in November of this year. There is a public hearing process. As part of that public hearing, notification is sent to all. This is the city's notification process to all registered neighborhood organizations. So we intend to reach out to those RNOs, those registered neighborhood organizations, over the next month or so, and offer to provide information or attend one of their meetings, just so that they understand what this document is, what it means, and they're not surprised by a notification at a public hearing. That is my update.
Any questions? Anyone?
You're a quiet group tonight.
When do you expect it to be sent out for review?
I'll work with Anthony. We have another turn to do on the documents. We have some comments we need to integrate, just internal comments, so I would expect over the next couple of weeks. We also intend to resubmit that document to the city for the city's review as well, so it becomes a current review and discussion. We just want to make the document available for folks to open it up, check it out, have a chance to comment on it if they'd like.
Thank you, Steve. Mike, would you like to update us about Nicole?
Sure. So we have an application that is now live. We talked about it last month. We can send that information out again with the link and the flyer. But we are looking for neighborhood community members who would join us to help plan the outreach for the plan that we're going to be doing later this year. So we are going to be doing scenario planning for the triangle starting in October. That will involve looking at the area to the southeast of the tracks, sort of the other side of the campus, and looking at what can happen there, what land uses, what public facilities still need to be built, what the roads look like, parks, open space, really kind of getting to the next level of detail on site planning.
Did you leave already?
For the remaining areas of the campus. And as we lead up to that planning effort, we are looking for some folks to help us come up with an outreach plan to make sure that we're getting as much input as we can from that scenario planning effort coming later this year. So as we mentioned before, we can send that back out for people who are interested. We're looking for people who are residents of Globeville, Elyria, Swansea, and can commit to 4 to 6 meetings, 3 to 4 meetings. Thank you. It's my Marston's here. Over 4 to 6 weeks. I knew there was a 4 to 6 there somewhere. There will be a stipend associated with this effort, and really just looking for people with ideas about how we can engage neighbors and community members in an effective way so that we can get really good input on our next round of planning that will set up the triangle for the final phases of the National Western Center campus development.
Who can residents contact if they need more information before applying?
Me. And my name is Marcy Locker, for those of you on the phone, and it is also on the flyer, the bottom of the flyer and the interest form.
And if there's someone that is Spanish,
Then I will connect them with Millie Barsalio from the mayor's office, or Alex Gutierrez.
thank you.
other questions or comments?
Maybe while we're still on Nwca, I guess I would just offer up if there's interest from CAC in this group for more information, construction updates on what we're doing on livestock or other aspects of the campus. More than happy to provide that. Just let us know. We'll be here either way. But happy to give any other information that would be helpful to this group about the development of phases 1 and 2.
Mike, is there any update or timeline for any of the projects related to the Reconnecting Communities grant?
Yes, so we are feverishly working on the planning for those. There's 4 different projects that are part of the Reconnecting Communities grant. The pedestrian bridge, the DPS bus barn site remediation, the rail crossing at National Western Drive South, and Betty Graham Drive Bridge and 48th Avenue Greenway. We are working with our other partners in the city, primarily Dottie and DDPHE, to align schedules and timelines and other environmental clearance requirements to move those projects forward. So at this point, I don't have firm timelines on anything. We still anticipate the pedestrian bridge being the first of those projects to move forward. And we are looking to have that go to construction next year. Hopefully we should know more in a couple of weeks, and happy to provide a more in-depth update at the next CAC.
Great. Exciting.
Yes.
Head bridge. Wow. Thank you.
Yes, finally, finally.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Thanks.
Moving on to public comment, is there any public comment? I'm not sure we have members who are not, or attendees who are not members of the. No, CAC, no, everyone's within the same meeting, and I'm sorry.
I have a couple of comments.
Oh, Brad has comments? Yes.
Since we have a few minutes here, we just did an analysis of the first 6 months of the year here at the National Western Center. And last year, 2023, we were tracking the dollars spent here on the operations of the campus. And you might remember that in 2023, 68% of the dollars spent on campus operations went to local, small, minority, business enterprises. We wanted to do a half-year check-in to see where we were at. We are 1% better than that. Year to date, we're at 69%. And we're optimistic that that number will grow through the end of 24 because we just re-procured our janitorial contract, which is it's a pretty significant contract on the campus because they do janitorial for obviously the facilities, but they do janitorial for all the events as well. And the successful submitter selected previously for the last couple of years was Aramark. They were a large organization. They had a small MWB goal that they were actually exceeding. But the successful submitter this time is a local small minority business enterprise. So 100% of those dollars will go to that goal as well. So we expect that 69% to grow. So we're very excited about that. I wanted to mention that, remind everybody, today is the first CAC meeting that will be counting towards the stipends for attendees. And it's $35 per person, and we pay them semi-annually, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so every 6 months, this is the beginning of a 6-month period. And to qualify, you attend 4 of 6 meetings and you get paid, or at least 4 of 6, and you get paid $35 per meeting. And then we provide those stipend payments at the end of that period. And then lastly, it's been a pretty active few weeks here on the campus. There was an Electrify exhibit symposium event here on the campus. weekend before last, it was a an expo on all things electric vehicles, from hoverboards, literally hoverboards, and to semi tractor trailer rigs and race cars and everything electric. And it was this will be an annual event here. They had targeted Denver to create an annual event. They're in 2 or 3 other cities nationwide. And they expected there to be about a total of about 3,000 people at the first year here. And if you recall, weekend before last, it was 103 degrees. So we were worried. There were 6,000 people that showed up. We had 3,000 people a day that showed up. It was almost 7,000 people total that showed up. It was fantastic. Last weekend, Saturday and Sunday, there was a festival concert here. Saturday from noon to 11, Sunday from noon to 11. Also, NoFX concert, and very well attended. I think we had total over the 2 days, 14 or 15,000 people. And as you all, just a reminder too, if you're on our text message platform, if you're not, you should be, because we give away tickets. Each of our events, we negotiate a block of free community tickets. And Anthony and Jenna send out a text a week or 2 beforehand, and you can click on the link, and it's first come, first served. And it's working. We're giving away hundreds of tickets, and that's really starting to get some traction. And we're obviously, our goal is to have this be a place for the community here, as Steve Nally likes to say, within which we are nested. It's just an exciting time. Lots of work to do on all fronts, but it's been an exciting month or so.
Wow, lots happening. I was really worried about the 103 degrees.
Yeah, so are we. Although I might have taken the 103 degrees over the biblical torrential rain that happened here on Saturday night. The concert got shut down.
Really?
Yeah, it 8 or 8:30 or something like that. They got the 30-minute warning from the forecaster who was assigned to watch for this event. They have a service that they use that says, okay, you're 2 hours out, could be a problem. You're 1 hour out, looking like it might be a problem. You're 30 minutes out, you were gonna get dumped on. And they called it. They sent everyone back to their vehicles. And I don't know how many inches of rain, 4 or 5 inches of rain inside of an hour. It was well under an hour, and torrential. So, but they handled it well. AEG is a group that did this concert, and they allowed everybody who had Saturday only tickets to come back for Sunday also, because the headline band did get to go on Saturday night. So we had about 1,600 people that showed up on Sunday who wouldn't have come otherwise from the rain out concession they got. So it was exciting to see the campus really activated people.
That's neat. Well, we missed the concert, the torrential rain and the high heat,
Yes.
but glad it all happened.
Yeah.
Any other comments or issues,
Yeah.
Anthony?
Chris, I saw that you just joined us. Did you have any updates related to the CAG or the community meeting you all are hosting in August? That's happening.
Yes, hi everyone. Hi, Anthony. For the CAG, the Denver Department of Transportation and Infrastructure's Community Advisory Group, we were originally supposed to have a meeting tomorrow evening, which is going to get shifted from tomorrow evening to late August. So keep an eye out. If I'm not in contact with you or you don't receive emails from me, feel free to reach out to my email. I'll put it in the chat for Zoom folks. If you'd like to stay engaged around DOTI projects in the Global and Elyria Swansea community. But I'll be in touch here maybe in the next couple of days with updated information about the late August community advisory group meeting. Outside of that, we've been closely kind of communicating with Denver Water because one of the major projects that Dottie is going to be delivering over the next year or so is the Washington Street corridor. And before we do our construction, we typically coordinate with partners who will go in beforehand and change out other infrastructure that they have below our streets. So Denver Water is planning on replacing the water main along the Washington Street corridor from 47th to 51st. And that will be kicking off here in mid to late August. I know a few of you are already kind of coordinating and working with Denver Water, but I'm happy to help facilitate connections and coordination. If you haven't been in contact with Denver Water or have any concerns or questions that you'd like them to answer or to meet with you about. Other than that, I think that's it for Dottie.
Great, thank you.
Okay. Well, I do think it may be the shortest meeting we've ever had. I giving back an hour and about an hour. So I hope you have the rest of the evening is enjoyable with all your family and friends. So we'll see you next month. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for coming. Have a wonderful evening.
Stay warm.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Is that a record?
It is pretty much.